we could not have pulled that off any better than we did on that day and time. So everybody walked home safe. It looked exciting. And we just happened to break the world record while we were doing it.
Okay, folks, he's buckled in. Stunts are ready. Godspeed, Colt. Stunts is good.
Cannon is on.
And 3, 2, 1. Action, action, action!
I think for writing purposes, he breaks the world record. So, that was in there as kind of something to not strive for, but just something to put out there. And I was really skeptical because, the previous world record had been 7 rolls on a movie, and it kind of used terrain, kind of helped it a little bit, had a little bit of gravity going downhill. Our location was a dead flat beach. And so I was just a little skeptical of what we could really achieve on, not using gravity to our advantage. We set everything up. We had full production support to kind of set ourselves up for the best possible outcome. And so with their support, we did the proper testing, had the proper vehicles, had an amazing crew. Down from the special effects department to the locations department to our earthworks to our driver. When you have all those things aligned and you have the ability to test something properly, we kind of knew that, from our second test, we knew that we were definitely in the right direction to achieve something spectacular. So we had 2 test cars and we had 2 cars for the shoot day. You're only as fast as your slowest vehicle. And so we had a vehicle, which was our camera car that was leading our whole procession in. And so if that can't get up to speed, then everything else goes slower all the way back. And that car was in the worst place because it was closest to the bluff, closest to the berm. So that tide of all that water coming in and compacting the sand never really got up there. So that was kind of what happened on the first take. It's very odd to see a cannon roll that doesn't, if it's going down, it kind of always, depending on which way they turn the car. So if you turn the car left, it always wants to kind of, it'll kind of banana a little bit left. It just kind of the nature of all of the energy and everything that the butt end of the car comes around and kind of takes you left. But something about that day, like I said, it was the perfect thing. The car went straight as an arrow. So it just couldn't have gotten any better for what we were trying to achieve for the movie. It really fit the story of Colt Sievers coming back, achieving something unimaginable or something that, they weren't set out. And we set a world record. My mandate was everybody we bring on for our core team of people have to be a Swiss Army knife. They have to, they just can't be a double. They can't be just, they can't be one dimensional. They need to have lots of dimensions. And so, rigging guys, supercross guys, freestyle motocross guys, fighters, actors, like there's no one standout that goes, I did it all myself. Because that's not true. On a movie this size, we have units going, we have first unit going, second unit going, I'm directing second unit, still coordinating first, it's like you're all over the place. And so having guys that you can, delegate tasks to are super, super important. I felt like, I know, speaking for myself, I felt like I had the whole weight of the stunt community on our shoulders. And there's a certain generation of people that remember the Fall Guy and got into this business because of, the TV shows of the 80s, and Fall Guy was one of them. And so, there were so many nuances to that show that we had to pull it off and we had to do it right. The stunts that we got to do on this movie are, practical, they're visceral, you feel them they came across in the when you see the movie. I still get chills, taken me back to those days when we did those. And there's, I mean, we all have movies, but this is just a movie that I feel so personally attached to. And it's just an amazing experience to bring not only the stunt community to life, but there's also a lot of nuances to the film industry and as a whole that were brought to light. And everybody that was involved with the Fall Guy got to put their little 2 cents. And you can see every little departments, you know, like if you're really, you know, in the film industry, you know, all those little Easter eggs of, you know, the visual effects person coming up and go, we can do this all in post. You know, the special effects going, I love my job. You know, the sound guy going, oh my God, you know, I can't get a good sound on him. And, you know, Jody basically goes, you know, it's a stunt guy in a helmet. You don't need to roll sound, you know, all these little things that kind of, it's for all of us in the film community to not only just enjoy the stunt aspect of it, but it's the film community as a whole that Fall Guy represents. And so it's a love letter to the stunt community, but it's also a love letter to the film community as well. So that's what makes it, the Fall Guy, so special.